They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet 'cause they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho,
they're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stars in the House. I'm James Wesley.
and I'm Seth Rudetsky, and today is dedicated to my rack. No, Dreamgirls. This is Lily from 2001. This is the original T-shirt.
And the poster over your head.
That's yeah.
And the poster over my head.
So yeah, there's a lot of Dreamgirls in this room, and there always has been.
Yes.
But we are Stars in the House. You may say, what is Stars in the House? All I care about is Dreamgirls. Stars in the House is something we began in March when everything shut the hell down.
2020, yes.
To help out the Actors Fund, because we knew no one was going to be working, because the Actors Fund is for everybody in the arts. So not just actors, singer, dancers, yes, but everybody backstage, everybody front of house, stage managers, musicians, camera people, caterers, anyone who works in the arts can go to actorsfund.org and get help. And boy, have they been.
And there's still a lot of people that are out of work.
Yeah, especially in the live performing aspect.
Absolutely.
So they've doled out tons and tons of money over the last year.
Well over $21 million since the pandemic began.
Yeah, and it goes to literally paying people's rent, paying people's medical bills, just whatever needs they have.
Right.
And then by the way, they're already in their second financial doling out.
Of grants.
Yeah. So if you need help, by the way, you can go to actorsfund.org ASAP and you can ask for money for something. You just fill out an application. It's not difficult at all. And then on top of that, James, talk about those amazing workshops they have.
Well, they have great workshops that help people with financial, like basically how to manage their finances, how to manage the marketplace for health insurance. There's a lot of great workshops. You can go to actorsfund.org/workshops for more information. Okay, last night was an amazing night. The Angie Torres Charitable Fund did a match, and our friend Maggie at the Actors Fund gave a tally throughout the show. It was very exciting.
It was like a telethon. We were raising money to see if we could match it, and boy, did we.
And we matched it. And now I can say happily that Stars in the House is at $961,500 raised for the Actors Fund.
We are so close to 1 million people.
And tonight is another opportunity because the Angie Torres Charitable Fund also loves Dreamgirls, and they're doing another $2,500 match tonight. Thank you so much.
So start sending in those donations. You send them in. You go to starsinthehouse.com to send them in, or you can text
Fund 2020 to 56512.
And then once you do,
you'll get a receipt.
You're going to get a receipt. Forward your receipt to
donations@starsinthehouse.com.
And then we'll forward it to one of our Dream Girls or Dream Boys, and they will read it out loud. Or actually, Dream Girls is pretty much sung through, so they will read it as a fight scene. $25. Anybody? So start forwarding those donations ASAP because we really want to make that match tonight.
Okay, two things, Seth. Because I'm actually going to be listening, not watching, because our friend Ryan is here at our house, and I need to drive him back in the city. He brought a saw, and Seth and I don't know how to work a saw, so we needed Ryan here.
We have to just admit what Ryan's doing. Ryan is fixing our baseboards.
No, you're gonna say that.
We never had male dogs. We have 2 male dogs, and what male dogs love to do is they love to just walk by something and just go, psst. Like just literally like. Just
I cannot believe you're saying
And our
this.
baseboards turns out are not really wood. We found out
they weren't until Ryan helped us.
So our original baseboards were not wood.
Yeah.
So they were completely like expanded and bizarre. So we begged Ryan. We're like, "Can you fix these?" And he's like, "Well, the reason they're disgusting is because like they're not made of wood." So Ryan has completely fixed all of our baseboards. By the way, it hasn't stopped our dogs. Just so like, psst.
But he said he didn't see anything. So
that's how he told me in confidence. But the point is, they're not ruined anymore because they're wood. So Ryan has been meticulously fixing all of our baseboards.
He lives on 72nd Street, and he has like this big old saw electric saw, and so like he brought it down and put it in the car. So I need to go.
Ryan Perry, by the way.
And yeah, Ryan Perry. We love Ryan. So I'm gonna have to listen to it in the car. But two things. One, we'd be remiss without saying to remember the 49 victims of the massacre at the Pulse nightclub. That was 5 years ago today.
Literally today.
We're going to, as I'm sure many of you know, we put together with our friends recording of What the World Needs to Know Is Love that we recorded 3 days afterward. So we're going to have a show, not next week, but the following week. That's going to be, we're going to invite some of the people who sang on it and talk about it. And it's going to be,
it's going to be a full making of with a lot of like rehearsal footage that I have.
Right. But what we are going to do is the money raised is going to go to the Gay and Lesbian Center in Orlando for that night, which the proceeds from the recording still go to them. However, without getting too political here, Seth got an SOS from them a couple of weeks ago saying that support they had previously gotten from the state, they've been frozen out completely. And I'm sure it has to do with those letters, GLBTQ.
Yeah, the funding got cut. So we're going to be raising money for them. That'll be brought before Orlando.
That's right. Yeah, go ahead, Seth.
Just back to the peeing. The big reveal, turns out Isabel lives in Germany and she actually knows. I've already told the story.
Oh, there you go. Maybe I wasn't here.
It's known info, James. It's not embarrassing.
Okay.
Sorry, just want to say that.
Okay. Finally, before you bring everyone on and I take off in the car, I have to since I can see. Oh, good. I can see Audra's face and Lilius's face because I don't think they know the story, and I know Heather doesn't. Right. But so I met you December 26th. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Seth. I met you.
So I'm like when a plane, you're facing forward.
Well, I know. Sorry. December 26, 2006. But we went on our first date.
Oh,
January 2nd.
I know where you're
going
with this.
You know exactly where I'm going with this. And then we went to Les Mis on Wednesday because your mother canceled.
She did cancel. It's not a quotes at all.
Oh, well, that's a whole other story, but she did, which I'm grateful for. And then on the Sunday, sometime between that Wednesday and that Sunday, you said, I've got this amazing video of Dreamgirls of the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a babysitter for Julie and you come to my apartment and I'll show you the video. I'll make you dinner and I'll show you a video.
I'm going to show you my etchings. This is one of those old come-ons from the 70s.
So I brought you flowers and you made me dinner. And
by the way, first and last time I think I ever made
dinner. That's not true, actually. But and then we sat on the couch and you got the videotape. And did we or did we not watch the video?
I'm not saying anymore because I cannot believe you're bringing up this story.
This is the only time I'm going to be able to bring it up. But let's just say that I did not see the rehearsal video probably for a year.
Anytime we talk about getting married and I was forced into it, I'm like, I wanted to show you a video. That's sort of the implication.
Exactly. So the rehearsal footage of Dreamgirls has been an ongoing, just like silly story that we've kind of.
It led to the marriage, let's just say.
Exactly. So
now
my face is red.
I didn't even have a video. Just kidding. Amazing. Anywho.
All right. On that note.
I'm just so red.
Bye, honey.
All right, bye.
Have fun.
All right, bye.
Bye, everyone. I'll be listening.
Bye, Jimmy. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me move this out. 1 second. Okay. James always wants me to move to the middle when he's not here. So I'm going to move to the middle. Okay, so someone just wrote like, why is Jennifer Hudson not being mentioned? This is a reunion of a concert that I put on for the Actors Fund back in 2001. It's not a reunion of every single Dreamgirls cast that ever existed. It's specifically this concert version. By the way, someone just said, will you ever show your wedding footage? We literally got married in City Hall. So the wedding footage is sort of like me, my mom, and Julie. All right. Anyway, let us bring on this Dreamgirls cast. The videos. Those donations better be coming in. We have a matching donation. Okay, please let me call to the stage. He played Cece, Up the Octave, Darius Tahas.
Up the octave?
Well, this time
it's more than you.
No, this time you've gone too far.
Oh, that thing.
I know all my riffs.
Oh, that's right.
And now let me play the woman that you get married to. You love her so much, and she brings you back to Effie.
So much.
Tamara Tooney.
Hey.
There's my darling.
Hi,
Hey,
Tamara.
Seth. How are you, love?
What is in back of you?
Check it out.
She's got the drink. She came ready.
Dreamgirls.
Oh my God, that is
What a
so
beautiful
cool.
I'm just glad it worked. I'm not good at this technology thing, so I'm just glad it worked.
I'm so impressed. Okay, now let me, I'm going to bring to the stage the lady who I first did Dreamgirls with, who wound up co-directing and choreographing. It was in the original production as well. She was co-director because in my life, she's quite bossy. Please welcome Lady Braxton.
Hey all, how are
Hey,
you?
gorgeous.
How you doing? Good to see you.
So good to see you.
So many stories.
So many stories, yeah.
So many stories. We'll talk about that. Now let me bring to the stage the woman who played Laurel and who was here last Saturday in the Aida reunion. She's now our Saturday night staple. Please welcome Heather Headley.
Hello, Heather.
Hello. I just have empty shelves. I do not have.
That's all right. I'm making it up for all of us.
Wow. I haven't seen Heather in I don't know how long.
Well, I know the last time I saw Heather, other than on the screen and listening to her fabulous voice, was the Dreamgirl concert in 2001. That's the last time I saw you in person, my darling. It's so good to see you.
True. I know. So, but here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm concerned because I know Seth, and he loves live things, and I have a feeling that he's going to be see. He's got his piano ready. He's been practicing for months. He's like, this morning I was like, you should warm up. I was like, no.
Oh Lord.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, up the octave as usual. Please.
It's ingrained in your brain. Don't worry, it's ingrained.
All right, please welcome the lady who played Dina, Ms. Audra Ann McDonald.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Some of you I have not seen in a long time. Some of you I see too much.
I feel you, my
What are you
sister.
saying?
I feel you. We be working. We be working.
all the time.
We be working.
I'm with Brenda. I'm with Lady Braxton a lot on the TV show.
Yeah.
And she holds court on our TV show. So I get quite a bit of Lady Braxton as well. But Heather, hi, sweetie.
I know. For a minute.
Partner Madeline. All right, let's move on. Now, the original Dreamgirls concert date was postponed because of Audra. We will discuss that once we start the show. Just saying. Remember that.
Damn it, Audra. Damn it.
Under the bus.
Always causing problems.
It all worked out.
It's a great story. Shoot.
Please welcome the man who, if you know him, you won't be surprised that he didn't get to sleep last night and he has a concert in 10 minutes. Mr. Norm Lewis.
Hi. How are you?
Hey, Norm.
Hey, what's going on?
Sir.
Look at all these beautiful people.
Hi,
Wow.
Norman Orrell.
Hey,
What city are you in, Norman Orrell?
I'm in Denver, Colorado. Yeah,
No?
yeah. I just left Nashville, and so I flew in this morning.
Wow.
You
Wow.
better be on the move, brother.
Listen, I'm
You
tired.
better move.
It starts.
That's how it begins. I'm sorry. I can't encourage him. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, Norm will bust out.
And finally, let me welcome to the stage. Yes, she has a Tony Award. She is brilliant. She's the reason why this whole concert happened, because I said I've got to do a concert of Dreamgirls with her. Miss Effie Melody White. Lilius White.
Hello, love.
Hi, y'all.
Hey,
Beauty
you
Lilius
hear me?
White.
yes.
Yes.
I'm so happy to see you all. Even though I see some of you a lot, few of you a lot, but it's okay. I never tire of seeing any of you. I'm so happy that we're doing this again. I am in lovely East Arlington, Vermont,
Oh,
at the Old Mill Recording Studio, where I recorded an album 2 years ago with Timothy Grafton Reed, which is dropping July 23rd.
oh, beautiful.
Get yourself some happy, and there's a lot of tunes on there that I hope are going to make you smile and make you, you know, feel good, because we need to feel good right now. We need to get joy back in our lives.
Amen.
You're here. I'm happy. You can see the view here. You see?
God, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm in that background.
The river running through it, honey.
Honey, a river runs through it. All right.
It's beautiful. So if you need to record something, come on up here to the Old Mill.
Okay, two things.
Vermont is nice.
We have money flowing in already. I just got notification from the Actors Fund, telethon style. So this is incredible. So we're gonna start reading donations soon. But let me go back for a second. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's start with donations. We have donations already sent to the co-director, co-choreographer, and the woman that played Dina in my first production of Dreamgirls, Lady Braxton. Check your donations and read them out loud.
Check on my, I see, on my phone.
I think so.
Okay, let's see. Y'all gonna make me put my glasses on and mess
Come
up
on,
my
put your glasses on, girl. Don't be
Don't be glamorified.
Don't be shamed.
And you know they're going to be fabulous too. Look at those glasses.
You know, men wear passes. Men make passes at girls who wear glasses.
All right.
Really?
now.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we have, let's see, Nancy from New Jersey, $50. She said, here's to more Broadway scoop as we await reopenings. I know you'll reach your $1 million goal. Glad I can be a part of this.
Nancy.
And she says, I'm tired, Effie. I'm tired, but I still got up in the middle of the night to watch this reunion live. Love from Germany. Isabel, $50.
Thank you, Isabel from Germany.
Yes. Donating tonight in honor of all these beautiful dreamers to the memory of those lost 5 years ago at Pulse and to my new friends in the SITH core fam. Thank you to Seth and James for all you've done for all of us. $25 from Scott Holloway.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you, Scott.
Love it, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. So this whole thing began because I love Dreamgirls and I saw it on Broadway and I saw Lilius and I loved it, and then Brenda and I did it at Candlewood and I thought I just love it. However, it didn't come to me until I did a fundraiser for the Gay and Lesbian Synagogue, and I was doing it. It was going to be gay Jewish composers, so it was Henry Krieger and David Friedman, and I thought the end of it should be the fight scene from Dreamgirls. So I asked Lilius, I said, "Would you play Effie in the fight scene? You still know it, don't you?" And she's like, "Well, I'm in tech rehearsals for the life, but I'll come over after my tech." Bobby, who has those kind of chops? So I'll come over after my tech and sing at your benefit for the Gay Lesbian Synagogue. And I was like, okay, thanks. You're being so crazy generous. So she came over, and I had been used to, Effie, we all got pain for 7 years. And she went, for 7 years. And she went back to the G, and I freaked out. First, I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to play it for you, and then I'm going to show you a close-up of my reaction. But just take in what Lilius did.
Cause I don't take that talk from no second waiter who has to say, feel well, I got pain. Every other time.
Okay, goosebumps.
Okay. I freaked out so much that I literally stood while I was playing the piano. Yeah, this shoe's gonna come up. I stood up at the piano and I started looking in the audience to find my sister Nancy because I knew she would love it. So here's a close-up of my reaction. I'm literally standing while playing, being like, "Where is Nancy?" Just watch this.
Funny. You were like, oh.
I'm like, who?
Fantastic.
Who else is freaking out from this?
So Lilius White effect. That's what.
I mean, the Lilius White effect. Get that CD. So that night, I was basically like, I have to do Dreamgirls on Broadway with a full orchestra with Lilius playing Effie. And I'd known that Audrey always liked Dreamgirls. So, and I knew she wanted to play Dean. I don't know how it came up, but I went to the Actors Fund and I said, what if I did Dreamgirls with a full orchestra to raise money for you guys with Lilius White and with Audra and with my unknown friends, Billy Porter and Norm Lewis, because it was like, you know, it was still early in their career, man. And of course, Darius, because Darius and I didn't kiss the Spider Woman. And they said, well, why don't we have 3 Tony winners and you can have, what about asking Heather Headley to play Laurel? And I was like, that's an interesting idea. However, I was like, I'd seen her in Aida, but you know, I have the score to everything. I didn't have the score to Aida. And I'm like, Laurel is so high and Aida seems kind of low. And I was like, can't she do it? And I remember our first sing through when Heather first sang this is when I was like, oh my God, can she do it? So we did cast Heather, but it wasn't until I heard this that I was like, oh my God, her voice is so high.
No, Jimmy, no, baby. Come on, baby. I really think I could. I really think that would. But I really don't think I should.
The mask and the notes, I was like, I had no idea Aida was so high. It's like Lilius and How to Succeed. I was like, she's belting a B flat. And then I got the score to How to Succeed. I was like, it's an F. Heather, your voice is so high that it doesn't sound high when you're belting it. I was shocked. What's your excuse?
Let me just say this. I'm going to go back because my first equity show, they pulled me out, not at high school, they asked me to do Dreamgirls at the Marriott Lincolnshire in Chicago while I was doing school. So that was a whole thing by itself. But I was doing Dreamgirls, and Angela Robinson, Felicia Fields was Effie, Angela was Dina. And I had to understudy Dina. So I was always like, oh my gosh, it's Dina Jones, whatever. Fast forward, I get a call from Actors Fund to say, hey, we're doing this show and we're doing Dreamgirls. And so I had all this stuff that I had done, so for Dina. So I was like, oh my gosh, darlings, I am so honored that you would ask me to play Dina, darling. And I'm so, so happy. Audra is going to play Dina. And I was like, I just we want me to play. And they're like, Laurel. And I remember going, I'm not Laurel. I'm not Laurel. And then she was like,
well, that was
Laurel. And she was like, I think you're Laurel. I was like, did I just mess up the whole audition? And she's like, yeah, I think you're Laurel. I was like, but I have stuff. And so that was it. But I seriously, it was just one of those, again, your voice just goes, all right, we got to get up in here and it's going to be okay. And so that's what it was. So in my brain, she was much lower. I was not thinking Laurel. Yeah, because I was all like, oh, yes, darling, I would love to play Dina. And they're like, no, you're going to play Laurel. So from the time I heard her name, I was like, I'm not Laurel.
Heather,
that reminds me of the time when I auditioned for Dreamgirls,
Tell the
LA
story.
company, and I told Michael Bennett I didn't want to. I didn't want to play Effie. I wanted to do Laurel. and he said, "What do you mean?" I said, I don't sing like that, and I want to wear that dress. I want to wear that dress.
Yeah.
That dress that Laurel wears.
Yes.
My dress.
Yes.
Tell them about the audition. You got to describe it, though, yes?
Okay, I went to the audition, and I auditioned like maybe 3 or 4 times. I went to the audition. I sang Aretha Franklin's "Ain't No Way," and we segued it into "Ain't No Party" with Greg Hunter. If you remember Greg Hunter, he was a great musical director, a performer at the time. And so we got to the auditions, and when I got to the middle of the song, I said, "It takes 7 years to
and it don't take a smarty.
It don't take a smarty to realize that even though my man throws confetti in my face," I grabbed my crotch and said, "Confetti in my face." Don't make it no party. And when I did that, Michael Bennett looked at Michael Peters, and Michael Peters looked at Michael Bennett, and they got their heads together. They went. I said, "Okay, wow, we've never seen the song done like that before." I said, "We want you to come back and we want you to sing Effie." And I said, I don't want to sing Effie. I want to do Laurel. I don't sing like that, and I'm not going to gain 200 pounds. That's what I said. So now they're looking at each other and they're saying, "Who is this chick?" So they said, "Don't worry about it. Just come back." So I went back the last time and I sang every note. I had the flu, and I sang every note that Effie sang until my voice was completely raw. And Michael Bennett says, I said, I have the flu. That's why, by the time I'm telling you it was over, I was just raw. So he said, we know you're sick, or either that or you're a drug addict. That's what he said to me. So I'm looking at him like, who's this guy? So anyway, that's how I got the job.
Wow.
I wanted to be Laurel. So I overstand you, Heather. I overstand, girl.
But Heather, speaking of your high notes, well, this includes you, because when we first decided to start doing it, we all met and we did a sing through. Not everyone was available. Tamara, you weren't around a lot. It's funny, like a lot of footage you're not in. I think, were you filming a TV show that summer? I feel like you weren't around in 2001.
I've always been filming a TV show. My entire life, I've been filming a TV show. No, yeah, I think I was doing Law and Order. I was doing As the World Turns at the same time. So so I wasn't at any of the table reads. So I came in when we started staging it, and it had been a minute since I'd done a musical. And I walked in the room with these divas, and I was like, "Holy shit! Okay, let me get it together. Let me snatch it up. Let me reach back and remember." And, it was just so incredibly thrilling. It was incredibly thrilling. And I was like, yeah, I'll do Michelle, because I was like, oh yeah, it's not a heavy lift. She doesn't come in till the to the end of the first act, you know, and I completely forgot about what was happening in Act 2. And so when we got to, you know, the recitative stuff where I'm telling, you know, my boyfriend to go and make up with his sister, and that shit is all hot. And I saw Debbie Burrell. I saw Debbie Burrell after the show because she came, right? And the first thing she said to me, she said, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that shit was that high." And I was like, "Yeah, girl, that shit is high."
Girl. Well, speaking of high, this is this one moment we did our first read through, and some people couldn't be there, but it was Lilius and Audra. I knew, Audra, you were a fan, but you didn't have the show memorized, and you were so shocked by certain moments. This is where Lilius and Heather have the high E face-off, and and you literally start laughing because you can't believe the moment. Just watch this; it is hilarious.
Oh my God.
That's the only reaction you can have to that. I probably had that reaction on stage the night we did it too.
Oh my God.
I went completely out of character, just went,
Okay, so we have more donations. Darius DeHaas, who played Cece. Now, so P.S., by the way, just to give the Darius backstory for 1 second, I met Darius because I was a rehearsal pianist for Kiss of the Spider Woman, and Vanessa Williams was going in. And they were like, there's a dancer going in with her. So we were rehearsing with Vanessa, and I was like, I keep hearing someone belting an A with full vibrato. I'm like, who is singing off stage? It can't be the dancer. Anyway, it turns out it was Darius. I'm like, how does Darius? I was so blown away by his voice. I was obsessed with him ever since then. And then we were going to do Dreamgirls. I'm like, Darius is perfect for CC. Do you remember me asking you, did I call you Darius? I don't even remember how it happened. I didn't text you.
I don't remember exactly how it happened. I remember hearing all the rumblings about the show being done for the Actors Fund, and I knew I really, 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 really wanted to be CC and really wanted to do it. And I think there was something about I needed to just make sure that I was cool with, you know, Henry Krieger and everybody signing off on me doing that. That's the extent to what I remember. But I was so happy to I mean, of course, and the thing is, in a little backstory, you know, that Marriott Lincolnshire production that Heather Headley did, my sister was in as well. So, you know, I saw that production that Heather had done. Also, when I was years old, I saw Lilius in the touring production of Dreamgirls. Me too. Oh my God! And here's the thing. They brought us all from these different high schools, you know, and they did a dress rehearsal, not even a dress rehearsal room, because no one was in costumes. And this was the power of Dreamgirls, because everybody, it was just rehearsal clothes. Michael Bennett was there. He came out on stage to introduce the show and to bring the show forth and everything. And it was just Larry Riley, Lawrence Clayton. Oh my God! And then this cute face Lily, you know, coming out there and just breaking our hearts. It was the very first time I saw Lily, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I tell you, when she took her bow, all us rowdy little kids, we were doing backflips over. You know, because I mean, it was that was my first time seeing Dreamgirls. No costumes, nothing, just pure actor music.
Theater magic.
Was that in Chicago?
In Chicago.
God.
Wow.
All right, Darius, read those donations.
Okay, hold on. All right. Donation Street. I'd be remiss if I didn't donate to the whole reason why this amazing concert with the stellar cast happened. The Actors Fund. I will never get tired of watching Seth's rehearsal footage and hearing Lilius, Audra, and Heather belt their faces off. Love, I'm sorry, I can't say this in Taga from Ireland.
Tig.
Tig. Sorry, forgive me. Tig from Ireland, $15.
Wow.
Hello, this donation of $100 is dedicated to Seth James, and Miss Lilius, and all of the others that took time out of their busy schedules and lives to come to Orlando and help the healing process of a city and families that were still reeling from what happened at Pulse. The atmosphere in the Dr. Phillips Center that night is unlike anything I have ever felt or will feel again, I think. Bless you all for sharing your talents in such a special way. David from Florida.
David.
I love seeing all these beautiful faces. Thank you, dreams and boys. Hello, hashtag SITH Core Fam. We are a family. Thanks, Seth and James, for this gift. Happy anniversary to my parents who gave me the love of theater. Love to the 49 Pulse Angels and my friends in Orlando. JD, aka Jocelyn in Florida, $18. Heather Headley, just between us, who is in the car? Cynthia from MA from Massachusetts, $50. Heather will have to explain that one. I don't know.
Her trap is shut. Her lighting is fierce, but her trap is shut. Right. Speaking of lighting, Norm Lewis. So you did that gay lesbian synagogue benefit. So I taught you Curtis. I taught you that fight scene there. Had you ever seen Dreamgirls before we did the concert?
Yeah, I saw the tour with Sharon Brown.
Yes.
It came to Orlando, and it was interesting because I was so used to seeing a heavier Effie, but then all of a sudden you forgot about all that, and she wore it out. Yeah, she was amazing. But that was it, and I saw the Tony Awards with Jennifer. So getting a chance to do that with Lilius, I remember being on stage with Lilius, even in rehearsal, and that power of her singing to me. My leg was shaking. I was trying to stop my leg from shaking on that stage because it was 2 weeks after, I guess, 9/11 had happened as well. Yeah. And everybody who was anybody was in that theater. And just the excitement in the room and the excitement of us doing this, I was so nervous, but that's the iconic song with this iconic performer, Lilius White, singing to me. So I didn't want to mess up just standing there.
And what was it like? It was your first time playing opposite Audra. It was pre-Porgy. What was that like?
Awkward.
Watch it. Awkward.
The thing is, it's sometimes I want to offer her like a piece of gum or something because no, come on. That was another reason why I was nervous, because here I'm with these three beautiful women, and then all of a sudden Tamara comes in, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta wrangle these people together. It's up to me to put these people together. So it was a lot. So it was wonderful. It was a dream that came true in a very special way.
And Odd Ann McDonald. So I remember I asked you to do it. Talk to everyone about, we were going to do it that, I guess it was January or December or something. Talk about why we had to postpone it.
The reason we had to postpone it is 20 years old now, and it's her fault. Zoe Madeline Donovan, I was pregnant with my first child, who for some reason decided she wanted to come a little bit early. So I went into preterm labor at 5.5 months pregnant with Zoe, and had to go on bed rest for 3.5 months. Wow. So I wasn't able to stand up or do anything. Wow. So I had to, I was like, I could phone it in from bed, laying on my left side, or we could wait. Wow. So Seth was kind enough to, and everybody at the Actors Fund was kind enough to move it so that I could do it. So, I had the baby. So when we did it in September. I was like 6 months postpartum, something like that.
I don't know. By the way, and we began in June. So you were like just a couple of months.
Yeah, because she was born in February. Yeah, so we were she was 3 months old. Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking. I'm just so used to just being Audra. I wasn't thinking, oh my God, she's got a newborn at home. I was like, it's my friend Audra. Like, we're going to the bar tonight. Like, it was so. I can't believe you had a newborn.
Yeah, I couldn't do that now. That's for sure. That wouldn't happen now. Now I'm like, forget it. I gotta sleep.
And by the way, she still does have a newborn. Every 20 years, she has another newborn. Basically. I have a clip. This is one of the first rehearsals between you and Norm. And at the end, you basically fall in love with his dreamy face and you make a comment about it. Let's take it. This is like one of the first times we ever sang it through.
She would say, she would shine, need a shine, need a shine, need a shine.
You are lucky I'm married and have a child, is what you said here.
It's before I knew Norm really well.
And now there ain't no interest. Sorry. Okay, so Brenda Braxton, you go back to the source. You were in like the original. Were you? Do you remember auditioning for the show? Was it one of those old school on the stage with Michael Bennett?
I auditioned for the show 5 times before we went into rehearsal for Boston. And it's so weird because I found out later on that I auditioned 5 times because they were afraid that I would be a distraction for Clea Von Terix, who I was dating at the time. Isn't that weird?
All of our mouths.
Yes. So yes, I have a history with Dreamgirls, but it was a wonderful history. It's a wonderful history, and just watching it all come together, watching Clea Von after all of that win the Tony Award, and I was up there just like, I was so happy because I felt like I was truly, truly invested in it. Because I remember he came home, he was doing the workshop, and he came home and he was describing stepping to the bad side and this and that, before I even knew that, that it was going to go. And I was like, oh my God, how are they going to do that? Well, how are they going to do that? Well, what are they going to do? And lo and behold, I ended up doing it with him and with everybody else. And it was an amazing experience.
You were dance captain?
I was dance captain. Yeah, I was dance captain. And then to see the reincarnations of it with Lilius and with Sharon and with all those other people who brought a whole nother feel to it was amazing. It was just like, wow, this show is so solid. You can have people come in and out and back and forth like that, but the show is just so solid. Any talent can come in and just really, really bring their richness to it. It's great.
They need the chops, though. They can't do Weiser style. Yeah, they can't just bring in a TV star.
Yeah, because
no.
I just saw a woman who was a contestant on a beauty pageant.
No.
And it was wrong.
Yes,
really wrong.
There are many wrong versions of.
Well, I just want to add, and I'm going to go back to the original version because Miss Lady Braxton, of course, I saw you in that original production and in the original cast. I was a newbie in New York, green, wet behind the ears, fresh and new, and I saw that show and I thought that this is Broadway all the time, and I was so excited, and it was amazing. And then I was privileged enough to take dance class, Michael Peters' dance class, and you were his assistant in those dance classes. And, so all of that Dreamgirls, initial fabulosity, and it just continued to perpetuate. And I was so thrilled that you were working with Seth on this Actors Fund production.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes,
and just to talk about, everybody talks about that one time that Michael Bennett, Michael Peters, and Bob Avion showed the girls how to walk in pumps up and down the stairs.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Tell the backstory. The girls were complaining. They're like, you can't do these steps in heels.
Yeah. And they went and did, and we also had a rehearsal. Geneva Burke, who was Karen Burke at the time, we were in rehearsals. It was one of the few times we had rehearsals with everybody in the rehearsal. And Michael Peters, everybody was complaining. They didn't want to do Step Into the Bad Side again. Da, 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 da. And Michael Peters said, Brenda, Geneva, get up and do Step Into the Bad Side. And we were like, we got our pumps on. And he was like, and we ended up doing Step Into the Bad Side in pumps. If you remember that, boom, ba-dun, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we did it in pumps. So yeah, there were no excuses back then.
Right?
It was the 80s. Norm Lewis.
In fact, Michael Peters came into rehearsals and insisted that everybody come to rehearsal
ready. Yes.
Comb your hair.
Yeah.
Put your face on.
Sweatpants stuff. No
sweatpants and all that stuff. He wanted to see leotards. He wanted to see nice, clean, non-holy clothes, and your face be looking like a dream girl.
Yeah.
Norm, this isn't a meeting, baby. You better jump in.
I know. I'm just trying to be respectful. I have to run in a few minutes, but I just want to say it was a privilege and an honor to be a part of this amazing production. And now that there's footage and there's also the album that is out, I want to give kudos to Miss Brenda Braxton, because I know Danny Herman was also involved with all of that, but you were the driving force. Like, you got me to dance, and I can't dance. But
yes, you can.
Hold on, Norm. Watch this. But I want to show Norm dancing. I'm cutting you off, and I want you to hear Bossy Brenda counting in the background, and I want you to see Norm's fierce body.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Wow. And actually, that we did in pumps.
Norm, if you don't do that choreography at your show tonight, the audience is not getting all of it. I'll make sure they know. You did not give them everything.
Oh my God.
I love you all. I love you all.
Norman, one more thing before you go.
Yes.
Typical Norm, when we did A New Brain, 2 months into A New Brain, he added the most amazing riff. So 2 months into the Dreamgirls rehearsal, instead of "They'll never take," suddenly became this riff.
Come on, Norm. Come on, Norm. Yes.
You better sing, baby.
The funny thing is the reaction afterwards. Like, Lilius is banging on the table.
Thank you.
Oh, well, listen, I love you all. I love you all.
Love you.
Bye.
We're
Take
like a
care of
giant
yourself.
tree.
Take
Yes.
good care of Norm.
Yeah.
We love our Normie. They'll never. God,
Oh
that's
my
good.
God.
So great. So fabulous.
Very nice.
Oh,
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. So I brought on Brenda. We did this first read through. So I want you guys to watch. This is the first time Lilia sang through, and I'm telling you, and it's so fun to watch Audra and Heather, who are just like basically in a state of shock the whole time, but dreamy shock. Just take a gander. And also, I've never seen more muscles on somebody's back. Norm Lewis, take a gander.
Yes. Woo! Rehearsal, table read, y'all. Table read.
I know, that's a table read. Okay, two things before we got to take a medical break with Dr. LaPook. So we're going to take a break in 1 second. But Heather Headley, can you read some of these donations in the private chat before?
I can. Thank you, Dreamgirls. 20 years ago, you made me smile and laugh for the first time since 9/11, 3 weeks early. So thank you. And Kyle sent us $100.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Seth and James. 16 months ago, you said, and we're telling you we're not going, and you didn't. What a blessing. It's such a gift to spend time with this fantabulous cast. I've watched the video many times, and this is one of my top 3 musicals, and I am over the moon right now. So thank you. That's from Dennis in San Francisco, and he sent us $51. And hello to an amazing cast from this awesome concert. I passed appetizers at the after party as a cater waiter, and all of you were lovely. If I remember right, it was a Target house or something like that. So thanks for doing this event in support of the Actors Fund. And that's Tim from New Jersey, $25. So thanks,
Yes.
Tim and Dennis and Kyle.
I have Target house footage. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys all a break. We're going to do a medical break. If you have any questions, just wave your hand and I'll bring you on for Dr. LaPook about anything COVID related. See you all in 5 minutes. Bye. 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 Tear down the mountains, yell, screaming. Please welcome Chief Medical Correspondent from CBS and stars in the house, Dr. Jon LaPook.
Oh, my face hurts from smiling. Talk about star-studded. Wow.
The talent level.
It's just like...
No, I know. Dr. Jon LaPook, I just read a depressing story about, I heard on NPR, like some town where, of course, people aren't doing vaccines and now COVID's up. Can you please, because we have all these new viewers tonight, the people that keep saying the vaccine hasn't been tested long enough and we're taking a risk, can you please explain about how the vaccine is not dangerous?
Yeah, so this is an astoundingly safe and effective vaccine. I think what faked people out was you have this pandemic that's declared, a little over a year ago, and then suddenly in a year, we have this vaccine that's out in hundreds of millions of people. How did that happen? Well, it turns out that the science behind it, the technology, was in the works for decades, literally decades. And so when the Chinese published the genetic code for the SARS-CoV-2 virus on January 10th, it took a couple of days. It was a computer program that was able to say, okay, here's the structure of what the vaccine needs to look like. And 2 months later, it was in stage 1, the first stage. There was phase 1, phase 2, phase 3.
Isn't that too quick?
Right. Isn't that too quick? So the answer is no, because what happened was the FDA, they cut the red tape without cutting corners. So normally you have phase 1, which is looking for safety, and then you finish that, and then you wait several months before the FDA gets around to looking at it. Phase 2, a couple of thousand people. Phase 3, that's really tens of thousands of people. Well, this just ran one into the other. They had a safety committee looking at all time that would stop it if there was a safety signal. It turns out that the FDA just turned all their attention to it. They cut that red tape, and by the fall, you had 74,000 people who had been tested for the messenger RNA vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna, right? That's how it got approved so quickly, and it was shown to be safe and effective. If you're hanging around now and saying, well, wait a second, it's still new. Now it's not 74,000, it's hundreds of millions of people who have gotten this vaccine. And yes, you've heard about some very rare side effects. For example, in the in the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, there was a 1 in a million chance of having a clot if you were, or a 7 in a million chance, depending upon what age group you were in. Imagine that there was such a good monitoring system that it's picking up such a rare side effect. Now you're hearing about myocarditis in some young people, especially who have got inflammation of the heart. Again, very rarely. You're talking about several hundred people who they're looking at a possible association out of millions of people who've gotten it. So for me, when I'm seeing or reading about these kind of rare side effects, rather than saying, oh, I'm not going to take it, I would think, wow, they're really on this, monitoring it. And by the way, the risk of having inflammation of the heart, the lining of the lungs, and all these other side effects, clots, much, much higher if you get COVID than the rare side effect of having a vaccine. The last thing I will say is that this Delta variant, which is a faster spreading variant that first started in India, it's about 6% of the cases in the United States. And you can say, what's that? It's going to be increasing among people who are unvaccinated. In England, it's already, I think, over 90% of the new cases. So if you're out there thinking, you know what, I'm seeing the total number of cases going down, I'm safe. If you haven't been vaccinated, the odds are that one of two things are going to happen. You're going to get vaccinated, you're going to decide to do it, or you're going to get COVID, because COVID's not totally going away. It took decades to get smallpox to go away. That was through a concerted global effort. And this is going to be what's called endemic. They'll come and go. We'll probably need boosters, but right now,
if you don't get vaccinated, you will get COVID.
Yeah, you can't say 100%. Maybe you'll be in an area with very low amount of COVID and you're not going to leave that area. But the odds are, because it's not going away, that eventually you're going to come up against it. And do you want to live your life that way? Don't you want to go back? Tonight, I went to a restaurant. I went to an indoor restaurant the other day. You go on the Upper West Side right now of New York City, everybody's walking around outside without masks. My wife, Kate, and my son, Daniel, went to a movie indoors, on and on and on. So bars are open. Last night, my son went to a bar downtown, I think it was in the Village, and everybody was inside and people weren't wearing masks. They checked to see if you were vaccinated at the door with your ID. Don't you want to join the jamboree?
Yes, ma'am. All right, Dr. LaPook, thank you for cheering me up. You're very positive. We will see you next week. I don't even know what next week is. Hedvig, I think, is next week. With Neil Patrick
great.
Harris.
Love that. Wow,
See?
That was great.
I know, it's good play. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Bye. Hey, listen, we are getting so many great donations. I would love to keep getting more because we have a matching. I want to make sure I read this right. We have a matching grant second night in a row from the Angie Torres Charitable Fund. By the way, who've done it before numerous times. But last time was Lion Piazza, and we made the match. And tonight I really want to make that match again with this one. So thank you, Angie Torres Charitable Fund. And keep sending in those donations, and we're going to keep reading them out loud. Please welcome back to the quote-unquote virtual stage our Dreamgirls cast. Miss the best background ever, Tamara Tooney. Yes, that background is so stunning. Dina Jones, Lady Brax, Lilias White, the fabulous Darius DeHaas, Ms. Heather Headley. And speaking of Heather Headley, I had cut off the video right before Heather Headley. I don't know if you noticed, while she was watching Lilia sing, she had both shoes in her hand, prepared to throw. And this is the moment when the shoes were thrown.
There's no other reaction. You take your shoes off, and when you take your shoes, then take your off, throw money where you have, just throw it. It was just ridiculous. Like, I just couldn't. It was too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every time she would just kind of, you'd say, okay, well, I think I've heard her best. You know what I mean? Like, I think I got it. And then 2 minutes later, she'd be like, no, that was nothing. And she'd like go on. It's always been that way with her and with Audra. I think that we were in it, but it was still a learning lesson. Just, watching Lilias and Audra and the way everything. It was really ridiculous. And for Lilias with that thing, it was just, you expect something. You know what I mean? You expect, and I am and she's like, no, I'll do something else. You're like, well, I'll throw something at you.
Make sure he understood what I was saying.
Absolutely.
When Lilia sings, I mean, there are few voices in the world that I just want to crawl inside of and live, rest, find peace. find excitement, find joy, and then eventually, when it's time for me to expire, just expire. And Lilius is one of those voices. And watching that, I was texting with my husband who's down in Atlanta working, and I was like, watch Stars in the House. We're doing it right now. And he's already texted me a couple times going, come on, Lilius, come on. And my hands fly up every time she sings. Like a baby has that reflex.
I can see you.
When Lilius sings, you just go, you cannot help it.
I find myself just bouncing in my chair, just bouncing.
There's a technicality of it too. Like you watch her ong's all calm.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? All of her is like calm. Like I would be in like I'd be jacked up to hit the note. Everything would be clenched till I get it out. She's just like, she's just all loose, and she can do it. And so it's amazing.
Lilius,
I thank you, because I don't think it's me. I think something takes over me, and it becomes a different person doing all that. And I try to think about it. But it's a weird thing. It's like two people are in there. Who's in there?
But isn't that the thing about technique, though, Lilius, is that you're not supposed to. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to think about it. And I think that's the rest of us are trying to study. And I'm like, okay, what's her tongue doing? Okay, what is it?
I'm always looking.
You know what I mean? We're all like, okay, what is she doing?
But I feel the same way about you all. I always ask Audra, who's in there? Who's in there?
I don't know, but I want him to meet whoever is in you.
This is a love fest.
Oh my gosh.
Audra, what was it like doing this? Is such a kind of a different part than the parts you would play before, because you'd done Carousel back in olden times and Ragtime in olden times. What was it like playing kind of
olden times? Wait a minute.
Ragtime is 1900.
It was written after Dreamgirls. You just mean like in terms of the style?
Not playing Dina was such a contemporary part after playing like I'm Carrie.
You mean the period of the actual show?
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean 1998. No, I'm saying a period piece and suddenly playing a modern piece in Belton. Right. What was it like for you?
Oh, I mean, I was just Dreamgirls meant so much to me. Growing up in Fresno, California, and when I finally got to see it on the road, and I've told the story a million times. I had the posters of Lilius on my wall because hers were the pictures in the national tour program. So I had that all on my wall. And, I had like the gold key. Remember those gold keychains you could get that was the ticket that was just embossed in gold. And so I had that keychain with, from my car. And there was a part of me that was like, oh, Dreamgirls, oh my gosh, that's just the ultimate. And that's what I want to do. And then there was another part of me that's like, when it closed before I got to New York, I was like, oh God, what will I do? There's what other Black shows will there be for us? I mean, every time a Black show would close, you'd be like, well, shit. I mean, so that's literally, so Dreamgirls was like the North Star. And so to get a chance to do it, I mean, I was so happy that Zoe was born okay, and the pregnancy happened and it was all right. And then for me, everything else was gravy, and getting just to be a part of this cast with all these people who I loved so much. In a way, I wasn't even thinking about Dina. I was just like, I'm on this just joy ride right now. And it all, I mean, I'll ask all of you, didn't it feel, I mean, especially once 9/11 hit, and we were all, traumatized, and, we had those close to us who really had huge tragedies happen because of that, especially within our community. It became an out-of-body experience. It was like we were all looking for something to anchor us. And for me, this night was it, and it gave hope. And so the whole thing felt like fellowship to me. It felt like church.
It very much did, and it was a healing for everyone, for everyone on stage, everyone backstage, everyone in the orchestra, everyone out in that audience needed this, because 9/11 kicked our ass.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, I know that I kept feeling like the shoe was going to drop. The other shoe was going to drop. It was very frightening, and the fact that we could get to rehearsal. you know, have the nerve to get on a subway and get to rehearsal and get together with each other and kind of sew each other up, you know, and heal each other and with this and have some moments of levity and feeling and crying. I remember crying a lot because it was also so moving to be in a room with you extraordinary people so that we could have some joy and heal.
It was less than 2 weeks. It was less than 2 weeks later after 9/11. To me, it felt like months later because every day was like an eternity. But I look at it, it was September 24th. Isn't it? It's unbelievable.
I had to drive across country to get back. Remember, I was in California.
You and Billy, right? You and Billy.
You called it. You remember you called it the Overground Railroad because I referred to it. You said you were with. She was a baby, and you said like people would meet you at the border, and then
I was in Fresno, California.
I was in Chicago.
So, and I literally had a friend drive me to right outside of Las Vegas, and then my sister-in-law at the time, her husband, who lived in Denver, met me there and then drove me to Fort Collins, Colorado, where they lived. And meanwhile, my ex-husband at the time and his father had set out from New York, drove all the way to Fort Collins. They then picked me up there and we drove for 2 nights to get to New York with Zoe just in the back seat the whole time. Crazy. But you know, for me it was going to Mecca.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to a North Star. We were going to light. We were going to be the light and then feel the light. Do you know what I mean? It was that. Sorry, I'm getting a little.
Let me just piggyback. I mean, I just remember particularly what you were saying, Lilius, about how spiritual it felt and how much we as a community, we as a city needed it. And I remember, you know, because as we know, Michelle doesn't come in until the end of the first act. So I was up in the dressing room by myself, you know, for the first part of the show. And if you recall, Brian Stokes Mitchell, Stokes, who was head of president of the Actors Fund at the time, you know, opened with the speech and he introduced the fire chief from the station that's right there in the theater district, you know, and the audiences were just giving so much love, you know, to our first responders and everything. And then I remember, you know, Mitch was like, okay, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Dreamgirls. And that cowbell hit, and the sound that came out of the audience was like a roar that I had never heard before. And it came up through the speakers into the dressing room, and I just burst into tears. I just burst into tears. It was incredible. It was an incredible night.
I will never forget that sound.
Yeah.
It was otherworldly.
It was otherworldly, and it's almost captured on the recording.
Yeah,
almost captured.
I was coming in from Chicago, and so I wasn't going to get on a plane, and so my husband now, he drove me in. And I remember just before that, kind of calling through the agent, going, "Well, this can't happen." It was kind of like now. I thought the earth ended, and there was, you know, there's no way we're doing this show. And they were like, I guess to some point it was like, well, the world has stopped, but the show will go on, and we're going to do it. And I felt as though it was a protest to all that was evil. Yes. You know what I mean? Like we were like, and so we had rehearsed before, and we were supposed to be rehearsing right during those 2 weeks. But now they were like, well, Audra's driving in, and we just had literally like 2 days rehearsal to finish the thing up. So Brenda's like on us, and just, you know, everybody's just trying to get this together. I remember driving into New York over the bridge, seeing the smoke and the that flag and all the faces down, you know, on the pictures of all the people, you know, and even that night, I mean, you know, having, I don't know if we can talk about it, but having her there, she's 9 months pregnant, this very present, palpable, tactile, you know what I mean, just ball of hurt that we were all going to come around.
Yeah.
And I think at that point for me, it was just like, well, it's bigger than you are. You're just, I will tell you this, I left a cord on that stage and I've never gone back to get it. I was like, I'll just grow another one. You know, I don't think I've ever grown another one. We were all tired, Audra, right? We were all sleepy and tired, maybe not in the best of voice, but we were like, this is going to happen. We had this tech that day, you know what I mean? And it was just like, I left a cord on that stage, and it was just, because it was just a protest and a complete defiance. Like, so when that cowbell happened, I remember, and they just like, they went. It was like,
what I think, if I could just piggyback on that, I think everything that everyone is saying, that is the true testament to the power not only of Dreamgirls and to the power of someone having a vision, meaning talking to you, Seth Rudetsky, and saying, I want to take the power of Lilias White and put it in this thing and surround it with all this beautiful, amazing energy that is Audra McDonald and Tamara Tooney and Heather Headley and Norm Lewis and Billy Porter and all these amazing ensemble and amazing crew, and Brenda Braxton, who, let me tell you something about Brenda Braxton really held it down with us. I mean,
she did.
Just the cheerleader, the taskmaster in the most loving way. And, when you're in it, you don't realize, I know for me, where my mind was coming out of, still being in 9/11. And, of course, we all are, good friends with LaShawns, and LaShawns had lost her husband in 9/11. And it was there was just so much turmoil still. And I was having a problem for a time reconciling, I'm doing this, but I should be grieving. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And then it did not coalesce in my brain until as Tamara said, that roar from the audience. And it's like, this is what this is about.
And we also, if again, piggybacking on that, the people that we also had in the ensemble.
Oh, my God.
Just amazing.
Watch this, because I made a quick clip of our ensemble stars. First, you'll spot a certain man who now has a Tony, who's just sitting in a state of shock right next to Adrian Lennox.
And I'll call your union. What union, Marty? You don't hire union. Come on, Joanne. My limousine is waiting. You want to take this?
Was that Leslie?
Leslie
Yes.
Jr.
You saw Billy Porter, Leslie Odom. I mean,
James, and look at this. Look at these clowns.
Okay, dude. Step to the bad side. Middle. Step to the bad side. Step to the bad side. Bottom, did you know? Step to the bad side. Step to the bad side. Together. Step to the bad side. Step to the bad side. Step to the bad side.
I mean, come on.
Wow.
It was star-studded. The ensemble was star-studded.
James Stovall.
James Stovall, who we all
James
missed.
Stovall. Orfe.
And
Aisha.
Yeah.
Montego.
And Karen Acosta.
Kate. Yeah.
All these Tony Ward. And Darius, let me just go back to 9/11 for 1 second, because it's interesting you talk about the cowbell. And yes, there was that roar of, oh my God, we need this. But to me, what coalesced the whole evening was family, was that song. And, almost everyone was on stage. What did that feel like for everyone that was there for you?
Wow.
It was hard to sing and not cry and not be overcome with the emotion of not just the scene itself, but what we were experiencing as a city and as a country and as a world. It felt enormous.
It's a microcosm of everything that was happening.
Yeah.
Darius, how did you get through it, being the lead?
Oh God. Well, this was one of those things. It was so many things, because had I really been thinking this, people really, if I had put that pressure on myself in that moment, I don't know that I would have gotten through it. So I held Lilias White really tight. And if you look at that video and I'm hugging her, and bro, it's like I probably have to apologize, Lilias. Sorry, I'm holding you so tight. But it was just a culmination of, feeling that energy around you. And and just to really want to do it to the best of my ability, just to really tell the story and really give it to, because it wasn't about how I was going to sing it and how I was going to do, I said, just communicate it.
Yeah.
And
you did. If I recall, we were all kind of crying.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Oh my God.
We are a family, like a giant tree, branching out towards the sky. We are a family, we are so much more than just you and I. We are a family, like a giant tree, growing stronger, growing wiser. We are growing free. We need you. We are a
Ooh, baby. Wow. Wow. What a moment. What a moment. And, my mother was there that night. God bless her. Mama, iba yetu nu, Mama. My mother was there, and my mother sat in front of Luther Vandross. And somehow he found out that was my mother and said, yes, that's my daughter. She was like that. It meant the world to me, that moment was witnessed by the least of them, who my mother considered herself, the least of them. And then here's this powerful international star behind her. Everybody was just so moved. And it didn't matter what walk of life you came from. There were people that came from all around the globe just for that night.
Yeah.
Because we needed that.
Yeah.
Honey, yes, you held my hand real tight. And yes, those were real tears. I was a mess by the end of that. But I think all of that added to the fight scene. It added to the veracity and the force that we gave it all. And then Brenda had boom.
My ladies, I just gotta say, my ladies. That's all I'm gonna say. My ladies, okay, up and down the stairs and everything.
It was
my God, those stairs.
I was so honored to learn the original choreography. I want to talk about because Brenda was there from the beginning with Dreamgirls, and because Michael Bennett and Michael Peters were no longer with us by this moment in time. Talk about I know Michael Bennett's white, but the oral history that Brenda witnessed all of that, and not only had the choreography and had, was teaching it, but watched it being taught on those original people. And for her to take that, hold it, and then give it to us was such a gift. It was such an honor. It was such an honor to learn that original choreography.
Absolutely.
Basically from the horse's mouth, because the horse's mouth gave it to you and you absorbed it and you gave it to us. That was such a gift.
Yeah.
So true.
So beautifully. And because we had challenges because it was a concert, but the whole feel of it, the whole, when you know how to perch, and you ladies, y'all gave it to me.
Well, I remember, because it was on 42nd Street's set.
Yeah.
Right. And so it had all those stairs.
Yes.
And I remember me and Audra and Headley at intermission behind the curtain, going up and down those stairs, counting, turning, singing, turning, counting, turning, step, turn, step, walk up, step, down, step, and then it's like, okay, curtain up, and we're like, here we are. And it was crazy. And
I'm showing this. So Brenda, this is you first rehearsing with your two amazing sidekicks, Dev Jenkins, Robert the Todd.
Oh my God.
Hey.
I'm holding the camera, and you hear me obsessed with when it would go up, down, up, turn. I keep going turn because I'm obsessed. This is the rehearsal.
This is the best part.
Look. Isn't that great? Look.
Oh my God.
That was it. That was it. Oh my God.
I just got PTSD. I was like, she would be like, no, I want that. She was like Fosse. She's like, I want that. Because you try to fake it. You're like this. She's like, no, I want your entire head.
Yeah.
We're like breaking our bags. Because when they said, they were like, this is a concert. And so it's like, oh, good. Well, we'll carry our books. And Brenda was like,
books?
Everything learned and everything memorized because you're getting choreography. I was like, didn't say that. And so that doll was like, I just had PTSD because I was like,
I know. My body automatically started twitching.
Honestly, I was twitching, but also this is maybe TMI, but like, because I was still nursing Zoe at the time. And all this, I remember the more nervous I got, the closer we got to curtain, the more my boobs were starting to fill up with milk. I'm like, oh my God. I had like tissues and all this stuff in there so I wouldn't go.
I tried. Now that I've had a baby, I bow to you because I have no idea what you were thinking. Now that I have a baby and thinking about you, like, and they're just like filling up and filling up. And even that turn, I'm sure the turn was like.
Oh my God.
But it never shows in your faces.
The question
everyone
is
so present. Everyone's just like, it never shows in your face.
I'm gonna do it all night.
They were on it. So the question is, Seth, when are we doing it again?
Woo! I want to. I really do want to do it again.
Audra, I'm sorry, Audra.
You're impossible.
And Audra needs to get pregnant again. Just,
Oh my God.
No.
That's your signature. Okay, I got more clips. Heather Headley, you are so brilliant. I want you to watch this. This is you at a table read, and you literally are such a brilliant actress, and you just own the props around you. This is literally, I can't tell you how obsessed I am with this acting. Just spot the prop work.
Oh my God.
You better tell him, girl.
Oh my God. Oh
Get
my
that
God.
Jimmy early. Let him know this ain't no party.
Unbelievable.
I love it.
Unbelievable.
I love this show. This show changed my life.
Yeah.
This show changed my life. You know, people
Wow.
people were telling me stories about Michael Bennett, and I didn't care. I had a baby 2 years before, and it was a lot of trauma, a lot of things. We won't go into that, but you know, my friend told me, you got to go see Dreamgirls. So I went to see it, and he said, you got to go do the show. I was kind of like, no. And I got to meet Michael Bennett, Michael Peters. Michael Peters was the person who first helped me with my club act by telling me to sing more and talk less. And Michael Bennett told me that he finally had an actress in the part of Effie, and he kind of let me go with my own life experience in terms of bringing her to life. And so it changed my life, and it made me realize that even though you're dealing with powerhouses like Michael Bennett, Michael Peters, these are still human beings. They're still people. And you know, when you connect with them and you can have that exchange of camaraderie and information and energy, it changes you. There's one point I had Michael Bennett sitting on my lap drinking cheap champagne in Chicago. Talking about life, you know. And I said, how come people didn't like him? I love him, you know. It changed my life, and it changed my life being able to be on stage with you all.
Yeah,
incredible.
It's interesting because, you know, I've seen different versions of Dreamgirls. Of course, I have not seen the movie yet. I'm still in my own personal protest about that. Yes, I said that. But it was watching them put it together and watching and listening to the story underneath the story that's never told when other people do the show. It's interesting. You know, you know what I'm saying? Being able to watch Michael Bennett and Michael Peters when they were putting the show together and say, well, we have to have Curtis be fair-skinned because at the time, you know, those were the Black men who had these types of jobs, and to hear that kind of history underneath everything, you know, underneath the story that is already there, gives it a whole nother coloring too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So every iteration of the show that I've seen, sometimes watching it and not getting that understory is so difficult for me. But even in the concert with you people who are actors, who understand the backstory. Lilius, you understand the backstory, so you brought something to it. You know, Audrey, you understand the backstory. That was the best Dreamgirls I have done since Broadway, and I've done a whole bunch of them. Wow. But because you brought that kind of sensibility to it, it was amazing. It was just amazing, and nobody takes the time now to find out the understory of Dreamgirls, or the center, the real center of Dreamgirls. Now they want Dina to sing all over the place, and now they want it drives me crazy. And then that's all I have to say.
No, that's a great point.
Yes, Lady Braxton.
Okay, by the way, Audrey McDonald, speaking of saying, can you read some of those amazing donations we have? Because we are going to match that thing tonight, man.
Yes. Okay. All right. So have to donate a little tonight with these fabulous video clips and matching donations. Sorry, can't be more, but just put down the deposit for Seth's cruise next year. Donald from the UK, $25. Thank you, Donald. Yes. So happy to donate on a matching night. And of course, I must donate in honor of Norm Lewis. You are so close to your $1 million goal. Congrats, Sherry in Oregon. Sherry gave us $35. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Cher.
I was working crazy hours at a newspaper at the time, and it was before I was involved in the Actors Fund. But I'm so glad I got to experience it today. From Becca, $100. Thank you all so much.
We're going to match it, man.
Yes.
Thank you, Angie Torres Charitable Fund. I'm going to show some of these fun little clips. I just love showing from rehearsal to tech. These are our amazing ensemble people. This is Brenda putting the real choreography on them. This is our final run through, and then I'll show you some of the tech, what it looked like when we actually went to the stage. If people don't know, when we do these Actors Fund concerts, we have a day on stage. to get the set, the orchestra, literally everything. So this is our last run through with no costumes, but you see just the fun choreography Brenda put on them. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rosa. Yeah.
And here's the first moment of the tech rehearsal when the curtain went up, and I don't know if you could see, but I was good friends with Paul Bonato, who was the original Cadillac car. And he knew I loved Dreamgirls. And as a gift, when we were doing Forever Plaid, he gave me his Dreamgirls bathrobe. So when I'm conducting this, the curtain goes up for this final tech, and I'm in my Dreamgirls bathrobe. But you see the great choreography too. It's so fun. I'm all the way in the back, but look at this.
Yeah, look at that.
I just love it.
So exciting.
God, they tore it up. Do you three ladies remember doing the Rosie O'Donnell show like 3 days before the concert?
Yes. I remember I had they were literally bringing up the curtain on the three of us. Heather and Lily, you remember this? We're bringing up the curtain on us at Rosie O'Donnell show to do the number. What we were doing, Move. And I realized I had 2 different shoes on. Oh my God, because it was a day of those were the days of tights and pumps. And I had on one pointed pump shoe and then one would stay. I was like, oh my God, I have 2 different shoes on. I have 2 different shoes on. Move. We just...
Yes, I remember that.
I do remember. Mommy fog.
Hilarious.
And Heather, I mean, Lily, you just injured yourself and you were in flats. You had hurt your ankle.
I injured myself the first day of rehearsal. I broke my foot.
She did. Yes, I remember that.
Well, I'll tell you what, she didn't break. You didn't break your high F. Listen to this high F with vibrato.
Why do I remember it? You had messed me up. I don't even remember stuff from Aida, and I'm like,
I was doing it. I was watching you, Audra, while watching the video.
You couldn't tell about the shoes, though. You couldn't tell.
No, you can't.
One was square and one was...
But you'd have to stop the tape and look at it because everybody was looking at what we were doing. It was great.
Holy cow.
hilarious.
And the 3 of you ladies, when you're talking about the cowbell at the beginning, the moment that I remember, the 2 moments I remember the most, but Dreamgirls, I actually couldn't hear my orchestra at the end because as you were singing, they started cheering so crazy loud. Do you remember as you were the last 8 counts, the wave of sound? Now I'm going to show you this to you on a side note. I wanted to record the show with the video. So I went to Rosie O'Donnell right before the show. I said, can you videotape the show for me? She goes, yeah, I'll videotape the numbers. I'm like, the numbers, I'm like, the whole show is all music. So, do the songs. I'm like, it is songs. So anyway, she wound up doing 50% of it. And she also had a crush on Heather. So the camera just keeps literally going to Heather and doing close-ups. It's so inappropriate. But I want to
paid her for that. I did pay her for that. My mother wanted
listen
it.
to the applause at the end, the crazy applause of the whole last 8 beats.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
I got chills, man.
No.
But that's hilarious. Though. It's like, forget about Audra. Let's go to Heather. Forget about Audra. Let's go
Where's
to
Heather?
But that was great. But you're
I'm
right.
great.
You couldn't hear the last notes of the song
No, you couldn't.
for the cheering.
And if people don't know, Effie gets, separated from Cece, and she is brought back by Michelle, who sings this beautiful moment. This is you, Tamara.
It's your sister Effie. Ever since you let her go, you know you've been deceiving yourself. And there's only one way for you to get free. You got to go help her, even if it means leaving me. How can I face her again? All the things you could never say. You made a mistake. You were younger then, but years have passed and time has away. Enough saying things aren't the way they seem to be.
Wow.
Woo, Lordy.
That
Convince
score
me,
is
Tamara.
just
Convince me.
amazing.
Convince me.
That score is just crazy.
It was such a great, beautiful moment to sing with Darius. It really was.
It was
And we were such babies.
I know.
Yes.
We were such babies.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
I couldn't believe that when we thought it was like,
there.
my mom, and I was like, yeah, you were there, right? It was like 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I don't feel 20 years older. Did you guys also remember when they mentioned that Target house? Do you remember what the Target house was?
No.
Exactly. Target sponsored us. They gave a big donation to the Actors Fund, and they had decorated a whole house with Target decorations. And they were like, oh, this would be a good promotion for Target. So we all went to this fancy house and we performed 3 numbers. Heather, you had lost your voice, but you lip synced move. You were adorable. And Lily said just broken her foot. You were like, I have no voice, but it worked out fine. And then we did Step Into the Bad Side, crammed in this house, and we had the ensemble of 55 belters. It sounds so amazing. I'm going to show you a clip from it. And let me also, we haven't even talked about Billy Porter and his incredible performance.
Wow.
Holy cow. So this is Billy just sounding incredible. And listen to the sound of this ensemble. We were all crowded in this small house.
Always been a good man, it's been said. Catch that man and wish he was dead. And I can't make good men mad. Someday I'm gonna be bad. Yeah, yeah. Happens to the bad side. I had to take myself a mean ride. You know the smell I had is gone away. Those that still are gonna pass. Step into the bad side. Step into the bad side. Step into the bad
Come on.
Yes.
Wow.
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 That's incredible. I don't remember that. That's
I
funny.
don't either.
I don't
No.
remember that.
It was such a night, man. We had so many crammed things like the last 4 days because we also had, oh my God, we also had the recording session. Remember that? We
sure did.
We did that like 2 days before.
2 sessions, yeah.
Wow.
We were in the recording studio. I think I have a clip of that too. We did it. Everything was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is us in the recording studio. Take a gander at this.
I don't know. What's so important? I hope that they want me. If nothing, this chance will be gone. I'm gonna make that film, and this will be the last tour I'll ever go on. Out to the point, I wanna be up. Now it's time for it. It's the time for me. To forget about him. I've got to think about you. That man wants to marry me.
Man wants to
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh my God, where did Seth go?
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I don't know when I clicked. Sorry. I was singing on.
Wow.
So
I have no memory of us doing that.
It's a blur. It's a blur.
So many things happened.
it was a whirlwind.
It was a
It was
whirlwind.
getting it done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we
we
were
were singing at the top, singing that.
I don't know.
Yes. Who was
I
that?
don't.
I had to sing all the high stuff for Laurel. That guy. That's when I remember.
Well, but you know, Shoshana Bean was there too, so it
She,
could have been.
yeah, she took a bunch off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I think we were supposed to do all that stuff. It was supposed to have been kind of laid out before, but because of September 11th, everything got crammed. That's right. Because I remember by that Monday night, I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna hurt tonight." Because we had sung that Monday afternoon,
Right.
with Tech. I think we had done the record. You know, it was just everybody was in show. It was just crazy. So my voice is gonna be yeah, it's terrible.
I think you can see Shoshana in this. This is one of our final run-throughs, and it's like Orphane's Shoshana obsessed with Lilius and Heather belting. I think you can see the glee in their eyes.
Face. Classic. That was great. She's like,
Unbelievable.
The voices.
I was like, your voice, Lilius is gonna hit a note. You don't want to know what that note is. But I'm asking you to match that note. Don't
think
embarrass
about it.
Dear voice of Heather.
And Lilius, you had just started dating somebody new apparently, and you decided to rewrite the lyrics to be about your new boyfriend?
My children are all grown now. I don't even fetch her again. Oh, I'm so happy. And I've got a gentleman friend.
I never heard that.
Yes. Yes, that gentleman friend.
Gentleman friend.
What a time.
What a time in our lifetime. Woo.
Yes.
I have a couple more things. The most devastating thing that happened to me is when I was playing, and I'm telling you for Lilius, the national tour, they had taken it down a step. And Lilius was like, Lilius, she's like, I want it in the higher key. So I had to transpose the step down version up a step for that first run through. And Lilius is nailing every note, having shoes thrown at her, and then suddenly I transposed the wrong chord, and I've never been glared at more by Brenda Braxton and Lilius White. Check out the glares.
This is classic,
Yeah, I think we all glared into it that one. On that one, we were all like,
Say what?
This show, what you playing?
Brenda, you didn't even try. It was just like,
Keep going. You don't acknowledge it.
As if like lightning had struck. You guys were like,
Really, not since Vegas. Not since literally the turn of Vegas.
that's good stuff.
Okay, I gotta give praise. Also, by the way, Audra McDonald was so hilarious because you know that she literally belts an E. So I want you to first hear Audra's belt of an E. Here we go.
I don't belt. What do you mean?
Thank you. This is the belted E.
Now you listen to me, Miss Blame It on the World. See, I put up with you for much too long. I have put up with your bitching. I put up with your nagging and all your screaming too.
So that's an E. So the next day she calls me really early in the morning right after Dreamgirls concert, and she's like, "It's so early." So she's like, "I just want to thank you for the concert." And I said, "Audra," I said, "you belted an E last night." I said, "Why don't you do more often?" She's like, "Because I talk like this the next day." She had one in her. She only had an E.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know this was said? Now that I see that the record, I was working with I can't remember, he's gonna kill me now, but the producers of the movie, which we won't talk about, Lady Braxton will not be happy. I was working on a record right as they were doing the movie, and that record, our record, was on the table.
Oh,
they
wow!
were referencing it.
Oh yeah, you can hear it.
Right, Audra? Did you notice, Audra? It was all reference, and he was just like, "Yeah, because I've been listening," and I was like, "Oh, you have to." It was sitting on, like, open, not like in the seal, like they were.
Beyonce has admitted that's the album they listen to because it's the full.
It's the full thing.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, so you should know that it was sitting on the desk, like it was the Bible for them.
Well, FYI, the next year, 2 years later, was a Hair concert, and I had said, "Who should sing Easy to Be Hard?" And Billy Porter said, "Ask Jennifer Hudson." And I was like, "Can she really belt high?" Because in American Idol, she didn't sing high in American Idol. And I cast Jennifer Hudson. She came to Broadway that night. It was her first time on Broadway. She sang Easy to Be Hard. And Henry Krieger was at the cast party, and she went to Henry, and she was like, "I want to be Effie in your movie." So I'm just saying everything is weirdly connected. So bravo to you guys.
Also on that Hair concert, background singers were Jennifer Hudson and Ledisi.
Wow. Tearing it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tearing it up.
So there's hope for us, girls. There's hope for us. We just gotta keep at it.
There's a top career.
Persevere.
Yes, Lilius.
I want to give a shout out to Heather Headley's Crab when she comes back for what? It was amazing comedy. Spot the crab walk.
I always knew you two were together. What? I always knew you two were ganging up on me.
Hey, now watch your tone. Don't blame it on the rail.
Oh, no, I can handle her.
Now she had nothing to do with this change.
You better step, girl.
It's the only time I was going to be able to step to Lilius White and be like, "What?
Pull me back. Pull me back. Pull me back.
Because it's scripted. It's scripted that she can't see you out. Any other time, she'd be like, I'm up in your face. But I was like, the only time I can step to her.
Hold on, I have to let my dog out. You guys talk for a second.
Wait, go ahead.
Okay.
Can we talk about Billy Porter and like, first of all, he looks like a baby.
Such a mess. Such a baby.
Yeah.
Such a baby. And I think we all look like such babies, but at the time, we're like, we were grown-ups, but I look at it now, I'm just like, my gosh.
Yeah.
So that was really 20 years ago.
Yes.
I know. And me thinking about us doing the 20th anniversary back then, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, Dreamgirls. That was so long ago when they did it back in 1981. Oh yeah, so there's so much. And now here we are 20 years later. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
So that means 40 years for some of y'all.
Some of y'all. Some of y'all.
Darius, it was good to see Aisha in those clips.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Sister girl.
She's so funny.
And Adrian Lennox was in the chorus there too, right?
She and Adrian Lennox, they were like Lucy and Ethel up in there. You know?
Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was very good friends with Elin Harris, the writer.
Yes, sweet
and
man.
he got to be in the concert, just doing kind of narrations.
I remember.
And he cried so hard after the concert because he said, "You don't understand. That's my dream. That was my dream to do that."
Yeah.
Because he was around for the original Dreamgirls, but he wasn't Elin Harris. He was a computer operator, and he used to sell like hardware and software. But he was friends with Larry Stewart. And he would always come by and visit backstage at Dreamgirls. So for him to be on stage, being able to do that was...
I remember because he did the very last announcement before Hard to Say Goodbye, My Love. And I remember he was so nervous, but he was so excited.
He was so excited.
Sweet man. Sweet.
So he makes reference to Dreamgirls in his book.
Yeah, he loves Dreamgirls.
I love it. His books. If people haven't read his books, get those books. They're all amazing.
They're getting ready to do Invisible Life for HBO too. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
God, I love those movies. All right, so first of all, Lily White, do you dare experiment with the accompaniment I sent you? Do you want to try it?
Okay, let's try it.
Wow. You have to play it on your
How
phone.
are we gonna do this though?
I know the timing may be totally wrong. I just made her literally at 5 to 8. I made her an accompaniment track.
Is it in my email?
It's in your. I texted you and I also emailed you.
Oh my God.
You texted me though. You texted
You're
me.
gonna crush it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Right, come on.
No, you texted me.
Oh, then go to your email. Go to your email. Did I spam you?
I don't know. Oh, let me see the email.
I've got a gentleman friend.
Has she even practiced this, Seth? Let's just
No.
She hasn't
Oh my
touched
God,
it.
it's the Seth show.
She hasn't heard it, right?
No.
Did you see her warm up?
I love it, right? Just
Ethel Merman warm up, I think.
This is how we roll.
Okay.
So, watch this and watch her completely kill it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Look at me. Look at me. I am changing. Trying every way I can. I am changing. I'll be better than I am. I'm trying to find a way to understand, but I need you. I need you. I need a hand. I'm changing, seeing everything so clear. I'm changing, yeah. I'm gonna start right now, right here. I'm hoping to work it out, and I know that I can, but I need you. I need a hand. All of my life, I've been a fool who said I could do it all alone. How many good friends have I already lost? How many dark nights have I known? Walking down the wrong road, there was nothing I could find. All those years of darkness and I'm changing, yeah. Trying every way I can. I am changing. I'll be better than I am. But I need a friend to help me start all over again. Oh, that would be just fine. I know it's gonna work out this time. Yes, 'cause this time I am. This time I am. I am changing. I'll get my life together now. I am changing. Yeah, yes, and I know how. I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna leave my past behind. I'll change my life. I'm gonna make a vow, and nothing's gonna stop me. No.
Yes, yes, yes.
Was it all right?
No, we could do it again. You could try.
Yeah, there was a little part there that was sketchy. Yeah.
To you, Lillian, to you, my darling, to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Lily's brilliant.
I love you.
You enrich my life. You enrich the lives of the people that stand before you, that look at you, that look up to you, that they try to be like you, and me too included. I'm still trying to act like you, Tamara, and sing like you, and move like you, and do like you. Miss Headley, let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about your color purple. Oh, oh, baby. It was off the chain, fierce, completely believable, and so lovely. Yeah. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Darius, your versatility. Seth, I don't know how you do what you do in a flash.
I know.
I'm just always astonished by all of you. So, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. And the feeling is mutual. And can I just add, Seth, we never really touched on how you and I first worked together. And I just want everybody to know that, maybe it was the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember. But I don't know if it was my agent, but somebody said, this guy, Seth Rudetsky, he's bringing art and music into the AIDS wards of the hospitals. And he wanted to know if you would come and sing some songs for them. Wow. And that's how we first met. Wow. And you have always used art as a healing, powerful, uplifting source of comfort and joy.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you from the time we were together in I can't remember the name of the hospital in Hell's Kitchen.
St. Clair's.
St. Clair's Hospital, singing on the AIDS wards of the hospital and bringing those people some love and some joy and some light to that 20th anniversary Dreamgirls concert, and bringing those people some comfort and some joy and some light. So thank you.
And I'm a great believer. The universe does what it does. And I think the universe knew what was getting ready to happen in 9/11, and to have us be a part of uplifting so many people in that time. When you think about it, you know what I mean? All of us were together for that. And when that show happened, it gave all those people just a moment of exhale and a moment of uplift and a moment to forget all the other BS that was going on. And when I saw LaChance at that concert, I was like, you know what?
Yes, indeed. Because you know what? There are shows and there's Dreamgirls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen.
And the fact that Audra drove, Heather drove, I broke my foot. You hadn't been on stage. All this stuff was going on,
and we still did it.
That cowbell went off. It was like was screaming, "Get away, devils!"
Yes,
ready to heal something, give some love.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you, Seth, for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Seth.
Guys, I'm so teary-eyed. Like, I'm so in awe of your talents, and I love that also people are watching. Our amazing Tiny Joe Dixon is watching. Adrian Bailey.
Love you.
Yes.
A mega talent. And Audrey, I brought you a surprise video. 2 of your idols in one video, Ms. Lillias White and Leontine Price.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. Oh, that's incredible.
Richard Waite sent that. One of the True Tones sent that to me. Lillias, what is that from?
Thank you, Richard Waite.
From a concert we did in Washington, D.C. at this old church, and Nancy and Ronald Reagan were there.
Okay.
And the part that you didn't see was Nancy Reagan doing the shout dance, honey. Nancy Reagan got
Go ahead, Nancy.
Okay.
Wow.
And it was real. And again, my mother was there. My mother, honey, her chest was about to bust wide open because she was
that's right.
Washington D.C. The special performance and Leontine Price.
Come on! Wow!
I got to stand on the same stage as Leontine Price.
Oh my!
Wow!
I'm still.
You got amazing stuff. You just have so much amazing history from everything. Oh my
People
God!
send things to me because they know that I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with talent. I mean, I just am, and that's you guys. Okay, the final 2 things I'm showing. I wanted to show I Am Changing. I'll never forget, Lillias, when you got that applause at the end of I Am Changing. I was supposed to go to the next number, and I was like, I refused to bring in the see me. I was like, I'm not playing it because they were freaking out. This is just the very end, but it was an incredible performance.
I'll get my life together now. I'm changing. Yeah. And I know how. I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna leave my past behind. I'll change my life. I'm gonna make a vow, and nothing's gonna stop me
Bravo.
Oh.
Bravo.
Lillias, how do you even watch yourself do stuff like that?
It's not me. It's not me. It really is something else. It's some other Diane. That's her name. Diane.
Honey, Diane Spears.
It's the divine. I'm sorry.
It is.
If I were to start a church, it would be the Church of Lilius White because I'm serious. It is the divine literally inhabits your body, and you believe that, and I believe.
You're a channeler, and you allow your body to be a vessel in such a free and open and,
just the divine.
It really is.
I enjoy what I do, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that God gave me the gift to touch people in that way, and so I'm grateful.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to remind Christine Daae, who does 6 shows a week, that Effie has to sing "And I'm Telling You," and then 10 years pass, but it's really called 10 minutes pass, and then she has to sing "I Am Changing." 8 shows a week.
Yeah.
8 shows a week.
Yeah.
Just want to remind people.
Yeah.
In conclusion, we raised a ton of money tonight. You can, by the way, keep it coming. StarsInTheHouse.com. I'm going to close with this clip. This is the final moment from the actual show, combined with the very, very first rehearsal. I did sort of a little combo. Let me just find it. 1, 2, 3. So this is final moment and the first rehearsal we ever did.
Wow. Oh God, Seth, thank you for that. Thank you for this. Thank you for all of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brothers and sisters, and everybody who participated in that event, that amazing event.
It was a historical event. For sure.
And I'm talking about the musicians and the stage crew and everybody.
And by the way, Catherine Cook was so instrumental in that. Catherine Cook.
Catherine Cook.
Catherine Cook, we love you.
And of course, Tim Pinkney, who was there the whole time at every rehearsal and filming that very first rehearsal for me. And Andrew Cato, who was brought on, who got us that Dreamgirls signed. So those three made an affordable job in Casa. So
yes, they did.
Oh my God. Okay, so if everyone's warmed up, we can start rehearsals in a month and we could do this, I don't know, September again.
I ain't scared of that.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, get that snap, okay?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm holding
because except for this benefit concert, Dreamgirls has not been on Broadway.
No.
What are we waiting for, people? What are we waiting for?
We could call it Dreamgirls and the D stands for down a step, but we could still do it, people.
Wait a minute. We don't need no down a step.
Yeah, I know. That's right, Lillian.
Nobody here needs down a step. All we need is some rehearsal. That's it.
If I start stretching now, I should be ready.
Listen, a little Dreamgirls boot camp, and we'll be like,
yes.
Boot camp.
Ready.
I think, you know what? Regardless of whether it makes it to stage, I'd be down for a Dreamgirls boot camp just to get the body snatched again.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Let's do it, y'all.
Okay, Lady
we need a
producer.
Come on.
We need a sponsor. I'm ready.
You have a producer, the Actors Fund.
Yeah, let me know. And we can record it and that would be awesome.
I am down for that.
Wait,
did this just happen? Wait a minute.
You're in.
Look at Audra's face. She's like,
you're doing it.
I'm ready. I'm ready for Dreamgirls boot camp.
Yes.
I did not say on stage. I said I will do the
boot camp. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm ready. Yep.
Because I'll be there with my video camera. So that is fine.
Yes. From top to bottom.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
It's on tape.
Okay.
This is very exciting, guys. This has been recorded, so you can't back out. So I'm okay.
Now, is this gonna be available to be viewed later on this week?
StarsInTheHouse.com.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys, this was an incredible night. I thank you so much, and let's all remember where it began. Bye, bye, everybody.
Bye. Good night, everybody. Love y'all.
Brilliant.
Oh, what rock do you have walking out? Don't